Welcome. Today we are looking at the Chi-Square Test of Homogeneity. This is a fundamental statistical method used to compare multiple populations. So what exactly is this test? Simply put, the test of homogeneity determines if two or more distinct populations share the same distribution of a single categorical variable. For example, imagine you want to know if the preference for chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry ice cream is the same for children, teenagers, and adults. You have different groups or populations, and you want to see if their breakdowns are identical. Before we calculate anything, we must distinguish this from the Chi-Square Test of Independence. The math looks identical, but the setup is different. Use the test of homogeneity when you have fixed sample sizes for each group, chosen in advance. For example, you decide to survey exactly 100 people from City A and 100 from City B in contrast. The test of independence involves a single sample from one population, where you cross-classify everyone by two variables. We start with our hypotheses. Unlike tests for means where we use symbols like mu, here we write sentences. The null hypothesis states that the distribution of the categorical variable is the same across all populations. The alternative hypothesis states the opposite, that the distribution is not the same for all populations. Note that the alternative doesn't say they are all different from each other, just that at least one differs. To organize our data, we use a contingency table. The rows typically represent our different populations or groups, and the columns represent the categories of the variable we are measuring. The numbers inside the table are called the observed counts. We also calculate row totals, column totals, and the grand total of all observations. To perform the test, we need to compare what we actually saw with what we would expect to see if the null hypothesis were true. If the distributions were truly identical, the counts would be perfectly proportional. To find the expected count for any specific cell, multiply that cell's row total by its column total, and then divide by the grand total. Now we calculate the test statistic, denoted as chi-square. For every single cell in our table, we take the observed count, subtract the expected count, and square that difference. Then, we divide that result by the expected count. Finally, we sum up these values for all cells. A large chi-square value means the observed data is very different from what we expected, suggesting the null hypothesis might be false. To interpret our chi-square statistic, we need the degrees of freedom. For a test of homogeneity, the degrees of freedom are calculated as the number of rows minus 1, multiplied by the number of columns minus 1. This reflects how many cells in the table are free to vary once the totals are fixed. We cannot trust our results unless specific conditions are met. First, the data must come from random, independent samples. Second, we must satisfy the large counts condition. This means all expected counts, not observed ones, must be at least 5. If expected counts are too small, the approximation used by the chi-square test becomes inaccurate. Finally, we look at the p-value associated with our chi-square statistic. If the p-value is lower than our significance level, typically 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. This gives us convincing evidence that the distributions are different. If the p-value is high, we fail to reject the null hypothesis, meaning we don't have enough evidence to say the populations differ.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.